This continent runs on technology. Every payment made, every patient treated, every student taught, every business decision, every government decision carried out runs through the hands of people like you.
The search results are in, and the answer is people. Not everyone sees a problem and decides it's theirs to solve, but some do, and that changes everything. "54 countries, thousands of technologies, millions of people connected, protected, and accounted for. This is what it takes."
Winning the CIO100 award does not end at the gala. It opens doors. It validates years of difficult decisions. It shows your organizations and the continent that what you built wasn't just functional, it was extraordinary.
It's amazing. I'm feeling great. I don't know.
We are super excited and so grateful, and thank you so much.
Yeah, so this is my award.
Wow, this is big. This is big. I thank God. I thank God for Jubilee Insurance for giving me such a great platform where we believe in technology and the power of technology. I mean, this is big.
These awards travel back to boardrooms across Africa. They change procurement decisions, they attract talent, and they build trust.
And then there is one award, the CIO of the Year award. 17 individuals, 17 people who have not just implemented technology, but have defined what technology leadership is. And so, who will the 18th CIO of the Year be?
You have a project, a system that you built that others thought that couldn't be done, a decision that you made and it made a real impact to the people. Don't keep it to yourself. Showcase it through applying for the CIO100 Awards 2026. And the process is simple. Tell us the strategic alignment, the impact, and innovative bit of the project. And you get a chance to be part of the winners.
Join us in Diani on the shores of the Indian Ocean, where Africa's greatest technology leaders will gather to crown the next 100. Who is next?
Good morning, everyone, and welcome. Today, my name is Immaculate, and I will be your host today. And this session is all about the CIO 100 applications, and we'll be guiding you on how to do like a good, proper submission. Joining us today is Hari, our chairman, Melissa, and we have Alex Nale, CEO, Rwanda ICT Chamber. And just to say a few words to you, I would like to welcome Hari, who's our chairman, to just welcome you to the webinar and an invitation to the symposium and the application process. Hari, over to you.
Good morning, good afternoon, wherever you are. Looking forward to this incredible webinar and talking about a subject I really, really, really love. And that's the CIO 100 symposium and awards, where we actually look at what people in the continent are using their technology for. So this is a really, really interesting time for us when we interact with you guys and see some of the interesting projects you're taking, you're doing, you're investing in, you're deploying, you're getting your teams to work on. So this is really exciting, and for me today really is just to encourage every one of you to take time and actually apply to be recognized. when we started CIO100, we had like probably 2 or 3 senior CIOs in the region. And now, when you look at what has happened, is the role has really grown. We have seen tremendous growth in terms of what people are doing, how people are using technology, but also how CIOs are being viewed as professionals. Today, you're sitting in boards, you're sitting in the C-suite, and that's what we have always aspired to. We've always wanted CIOs and senior IT people to sit in the board. We've always wanted to see CIOs being the strategic advisor in the different businesses. So CIO100 to us is a really big project. And this is when now we get to recognize the people that are really putting time, putting effort to bring those projects into life, and give them support the businesses that you're in. So I encourage every one of you. I encourage everybody who is in the webinar today to put in the application. Spend time. Don't do it in a hurry. Like, do it properly. Because you see, our judges are very keen on understanding what the project was. What was it? How was it done? What pain point was it solving? And what is the return after that? So we are really keen to see the projects this year. Last year was a big year. We saw a lot of companies, from Nigeria, from South Africa coming on board, and of course from Kenya. This year we're seeing a lot of interest from other regions as well, and we look forward to seeing those projects and also reading some of the things that you guys are doing, and eventually we want to be able to see winners from Rwanda, from Kenya, from Nigeria at the CIO100 Awards this November in Diani. So looking forward to interacting with you and have a very good webinar. I'm sure. I just want to take this opportunity to thank and Alex from the chamber in Rwanda for the support that they've been giving us on this, and looking forward to seeing a lot of people from Rwanda in Diani in November. Thank you very much, and all the best for everybody.
Thank you so much, Harry, for that brief introduction. And just to give you a brief overview of what CIO100 Awards is all about, just like Harry said, it's a celebration that celebrates IT leaders. And what is CIO 100 Awards? CIO 100 Awards is a recognition that celebrates IT leaders and the organizations that have used technology to deliver impact. The main key thing is to see the impact derived from the technology that you guys have deployed. So that is mainly what CIO 100 Awards is all about. And in this session, we have scheduled the last 10 minutes for the Q&A. So please drop all your questions. We'll be ready to answer them. And I know everyone is super excited to hear from Alex, who is one of our judges who's been doing this over the years. And he will take us through the different criterias we look at when we are reviewing the submissions. And this is the business aspect of it, the innovation bit of it, the leadership part of it, and also we have the overview of the entire project. So I would like to welcome Alex to take us through today's session. I know he's the master of this part of the session, and he will really guide you on how to do a proper section and a proper submission. So Alex, over to you.
Thank you, everyone, for making time to join this session. Harry and the entire CIO magazine, CIO100 team, thank you very much. It's really a great opportunity to to be part of this journey that has, I think I've been part of it, been part of this journey since for the last 5 to 6 years as a judge. And for colleagues that are here, that are joining, just to try and understand, I hope some of you were able to follow the video that was playing, or at least you've read a little bit background about CIO magazine, or CIO100 awards, and I keep going back and forth on the wording magazine and CIO100. I don't know if everybody here has that background, knows that, or if we need to give you a little bit of history, or not history, but a little bit of background on who the organizers of this CIO100 awards are. As I think Immaculate put it, it's been 18 years. Yeah. Please, Harry and the team, correct me if I'm not, if I'm wrong. Especially that I've only been part of the last 5 years. So the experience for me being part of this, and for those that are wondering, these days we've transitioned mostly to chief digital officers, and so some of the younger colleagues may not be familiar with CI. What does the I mean? It's a chief information officers, okay, and quick roles are merging with chief operation officers, or chief technology officers. So this is the same family or departments in most organizations that are looking. The people that are looking after the technology departments or portfolio of organizations, and therefore responsible for most of what we call efficiency gains, driving efficiency gains, driving cost savings, etc. So just to give us maybe, I'm just going to talk about the five key criteria or principles that we use during the judging or the evaluation process. And I'll start with fit for context. Okay, so the application form, for those who have applied before, you may have realized that it's quite lengthy. It asks quite a lot of questions, and really, I think that is also on purpose. But the first criteria we look at is really to understand whether the technology, the project that you're submitting, the innovation, whatever you're applying with, is really fit for purpose or for context, rather than fashion. Okay. And every year, we in the technology space can agree that every year comes with its own fashion. Okay. What is in fashion today? Last year or the previous years, blockchain might have been in fashion. No, there's not. I have no presentation. There's no presentation, at least not from me. Maybe Immaculate or other colleagues may have a presentation. I saw a question that popped up. So every year there's a new there's a new trend that is driving the world crazy in terms of technology and adoption, and it's very when these awards come, or most of the awards come, most people are tempted to apply and trying to show that they are using the latest technologies, or they are using the fanciest, the latest kid on the block. And as a judge and with other colleagues, what we try to evaluate really is to see, is this really fit for purpose? Okay, are you presenting, are you applying artificial intelligence, for example, or blockchain where it needs to be applied? When you tell us that you're applying, say, agile method, because those are some of the questions on methodology that you're using. When you tell us you're using agile methodology, we'll compare. Is this the right? Is this the right methodology to use? So that's the first one. Mostly making sure that whatever you apply, the project is that was implemented, that you're applying with, that it is really contextualizing that industry. So in a supply chain case, for example, an organization that is in manufacturing, okay, may be applying at maybe IoT, or may even just be applying basic basic IT, ERP, enterprise resource planning systems. Okay, and that may be more may win ahead of the ones that are applying latest technologies, just because the solution that that they have used, or they have the project they've implemented, is appropriate and actually has evidence, which is the second the second criteria that we look at: evidence. Okay. We get a lot of applications, and I think Immaculate will share. Immaculate will share on that. Okay. Over the period, we evaluate close to 200 applicants. Okay, over a 3 to 4 day period. Okay, of applications that we have to read. We have to read through. We have to score. We have to work on. And what really separates the winners from those that don't make it very well is providing evidence. When we ask you, okay, what impact did this bring to the organization? Okay, you tell us, for example, there are efficiency gains, 40% efficiency gains, but if there's nothing attached in the attachments that really demonstrate those efficiency gains, if there's no baseline, for example, say, okay, before we were spending 2 hours to do this work, or we were spending 3 hours, or patients, for example, in a healthcare facility, patients were spending 3 hours in a queue, and after implementing a booking system, doctor booking or whatever facility booking system, we reduced that to only 30 minutes. Okay, so the queues are gone. Okay, and we can see that the baseline previous data, and then we can also you can share some of that. That's very key. Okay, so providing evidence rather than making claims that are not supported by evidence. And I think one thing that cracked me up last year was an applicant who refused to give us evidence under the guise that this is privacy and stuff like that. But you're applying, you're competing with other people that are providing this evidence, and there's so many ways that you can protect your privacy or your data. And actually, we've been doing this for the last 18 years. Definitely, we know we have a thing or two about we know a thing or two about protecting the privacy of the organizations that apply, and the data and the information that they share with us and with the organization. So for evidence, there's always attachments that we ask. You can send an attachment. There are attach different kinds of attachments that you can share from how really you want to present your evidence. Just responding to the question that I think Joseph had asked in the chat. And then like the other thing is that there's about 5 to 6 of us judges that are involved. Some of us obviously from not some of us, but all of us, most of us from different countries. That is from Rwanda. There's a colleague from Tanzania. There's someone from Kenya. There's someone from Nigeria, from South Africa, which is really brings me to the third criteria that there's a diversity. I may be looking at Sarova hotels or evaluating Kenya Airways, Rwanda Airways is going to be evaluated by someone else, my Tanzanian colleague who has no relationship or has no knowledge, doesn't have much, not much attachment, let me say, to Rwanda as Rwandan would have. So there's that, and the rubric we also use. You try. We look. There's a scale. Okay, it's a scale of 1 to 5. Looking at is this absent? So if it's absent, you're most likely to get a 1. So that's the top score is 5, which is exceptional. 4, if you're strong, this is really strong, solid. Someone has clearly demonstrated, has given the evidence, has given us everything that we need to look at. And the other part is also that I'm not trying to just use my head to evaluate things. Saying there's of course, as a technology person, I may have already formed a position on a certain technology or a certain need, but I am balanced by other colleagues that are in the that are on the panel, on the judging panel. So you have a more balanced approach, or more balanced score. So we grade really on that from that level. And then there's the independence as well, because again, as we were saying, that I don't know these companies, or when I know the companies, most of the time, actually, I don't think I've scored any Rwandan companies in the last since I started the program, since I joined the panel. But that is really to help build that, have that calibration that we are able to provide independence. And I think our colleagues will also talk about the other the other partners that are involved in this, not just the judges. There's also, I think, audit firms that verify some of the claims that work with the team, and so lastly we weight this, okay, so that we don't have an overweight, or we do not have we do not have one organization or one person's a score, yeah, basically crowding out the others. So there are weights, and those weights are applied based on a criteria as well. So that is that's the other thing. Now, maybe just what I want to emphasize during the application. There's some things that are more valuable than others. Things that we like to really look into. You're a chief information officer, chief digital officer, chief technology, and so on. So as Harry pointed out, you're sitting in the C-suite in essence, and you're contributing and you're advising your organization on what they can spend on and what they should not be spending on. And as a business, at least for most of the applicants, which are for-profit businesses, they are looking at the bottom line. Okay, the company, the organization is looking at how does implementing this solution, how does working or carrying out this project, how does it affect the bottom line? Okay, and that is the key thing that we are looking at. If you're able to articulate that even to us as you apply, okay, yes, you may have convinced them, but are you able to communicate that business value and impact to your C colleagues or to your head of department and so on? Because some of you may not be the exact people that are going to that sit in these positions. But the question for us is the question for us is that we're trying to understand. Okay, have you quantified the outcomes? Are they in a language that the CEO or the chief finance officer will actually understand? Okay, and that's the key message here. Forgetting about all these potential biases that you may just be biased that you're interested in AI and you're trying to push them in the AI space, or you're trying to push them in the blockchain space, or you're trying to push them in the latest, the most fashionable technology. But really, you're able to, the evidence, yeah, someone asked about the evidence. You're able to show real clear baseline. But we evaluated this project on its need. We've been struggling, or the company had this problem. This is how this problem was quantified. We're losing X amount of money because of XYZ in the supply chain, logistics. We don't know how much we're spending on fuel, and we don't know how much is going on time that is lost, for example, in the movement with the vehicles, the trucks, as the trucks are moving. So we now want to implement this solution, and this solution is going to optimize the logistics. Okay, but it's going to provide savings of X amount or X percentage on this. It's going to provide on say fuel, we are going to save X amount. On this time, we're going to save X amount. So you're able to give us those baselines on how you really presented that project, or how you've analyzed it, and we're able to push it through to convince your colleagues. Then there is the innovation question. Because we also, yes, we want to look at on the innovation. Okay, so really, again, going back to, it's not just about a trending technology, but it's how that innovation or the supposed innovation is going to be applied, how it contributes to the overall organizational goals and objectives, and eventually to the bottom line, and really alerting people on usual traps, again, using buzzwords, brand names, or we're in partnership, or we're using AWS, or this whatever the latest SpaceX, for example, since they are the latest fancy brand out there. So that's the innovation you need to demonstrate. Really, it doesn't have to necessarily be a unique, new, brandy thing. It's rather how you are applying, how you're implementing it to the organization's objectives and to the transformation of the organization. Then the strategy. Okay, how is what you did or what you're proposing to do? How is it aligned to the organization strategy? Okay, and really that again, that's why we like talking to CIOs or chief digital officers and the C-level, the executive team, is because we expecting that for some of these projects, the overall is really to ensure that it's aligning with the organization's, whether it's the digital transformation agenda of the organization or the organization's overall strategy, and how that is how it connects to it. Maybe there are 5 strategic pillars that are aiming at improving customer service or customer service delivery, or improving their making cost savings because XYZ reason. So it's key that you're able to demonstrate real alignment, and that alignment could be that, yes, you're able to show us you're able to articulate, actually, you're able to articulate what the organization's strategy is, okay, and how what was done links to that strategy, to the purpose. And lastly, this is the return on investment. Okay, and that's a financial, really, that's a financial number. Okay, and I think that scores what it gives you up to another 15 or so percent in the entire process. Okay, and you need to be able to calculate, okay, and to show us the return on investment. We invested this amount of money, and feeds back a little bit on the evidence question. We invested $100,000. Before that, we were spending X amount, maybe renting servers or paying whatever subscriptions, or we had nothing. We had nothing at all. But we invested this 100,000, and this 100,000 has unlocked potential from our customers. Our customers, there's more stickiness of our customers. They are more satisfied. But beyond that satisfaction, it has generated actual. We're able to pin income revenue that has come in or cost savings. It has saved us X amount of money that we were spending in fuel that we were not being able to account for or to trace. Now we implemented the IoT solution in our logistics, and now that helps us to trace or to track down every liter of petrol that is being paid for by the organization, and that has saved us say $1 million in costs that we were spending before implementing this project. So you're able to really calculate and demonstrate that return on investment. Again, there's so many ways, so many places you can learn on how to calculate that and demonstrate that. So then, of course, executive and leadership buy-in. That's the other thing. If you do really, what we find is that people who are able, organizations or leaders, CIOs that are able to articulate the business value, articulate the return on investment, be able to demonstrate how this align, how whatever project they're doing or they've been doing aligns to the organization strategy. We find that it becomes very easy for them to get the leadership buy-in. So the leadership of the organization understands, can see clearly how why they should allocate budget to that to that item or to that project. So project appraisal in a sense. So, and we have other, I think, the other criteria. I won't go deeper into each one of them. I thought that those I should mention those key things because that's where we find a lot of gaps in the applicants. And if you're planning to apply, really you have, it's a long application form, so you need to take your time. Don't rush it. Give it enough time to be able to answer and to provide all the information that is needed on time and within time. I want to hand back to Immaculate, unless there's any particular question. Let's.
Section, I would like to invite Melissa to take us through the do's and don'ts of the CIO100 application process. And after that, we will have our section, our Q&A section, where we'll answer all your questions. Please drop all your questions in the chat box. We'll be able to respond to every other question that are available and will be available at that particular time. Melissa?
I'm Melissa Dosela, and I'm here to take you through highlight a few key elements that you need to know and you need for application. On your screen, there's a QR code that has been running. When you scan the QR code, it will lead you to the applications page. On the applications page, there's a button that you can click to download the PDF version of the application. It's important to do this before you start the application because this will show you the questions that are on the application form. You will be able to gather all the information that you need, all the attachments that you need, all the answers from the different departments before you start the actual application form. When you're ready to start the application form, and please bear in mind the deadline, go back to the link and start your form. The process is quite simple. The guides. They guide you on how many words to use. They guide you on what. Pay attention to those guides and focus on putting your answers as is guided. What we need to see in the application form is the entire process. We need to understand you started this project. We need to understand the entire process that you went through, as my colleague Alex said. We need to know what challenges your organization faced, why it was important for you to actually start this project, and we need you to tell us the outcome. The most important part of this application is the outcome. We need you to highlight the metrics and the success factors of this project. We need you to highlight the ROIs, the return on investment. The judges need to see the full project end to end. The reason why you started, the entire process, the challenges, the teams that worked on them, all the way to the actual return. This will lead you to the next process. The judges will go through your application forms, and then you will receive a notification inviting you to attend the CIO100 Symposium and Awards in Diani. My colleague Immaculate will tell you more about the awards.
So thank you so much, everyone, for attending. And just to answer some of your questions, I saw a question from Nicholas, and he was asking about how feedback is provided to the applicants. And once the process is done, we usually share a detailed report on your submission, on where we feel like you could do more on, and how you can maybe do and put in more effort. And that is usually detailed and sent to everyone who has sent in their application. And just to see other questions in the chat box, we have one from Wanjeri. Yes, we will share the recording for this session. And also another question from Nicholas. Could you please elaborate on the type of evidence required? So we do understand that evidence vary from different organizations, and we accommodate any form of evidence. It can be maybe a dashboard, a before and after of how the system looked like, can be a report from your finance department, can be anything that carries weight, that shows us how the before was and how the after looks like. Another question. So, question from Kathy, if we could share the other sections and how they're being weighted. So, for the first section, which is the business value, is usually 30% of the entire project. So that's why we keep on insisting on please let us know of the business impact, and then the project overview and how it's linked to the organization strategic goals. So this section carries a lot of marks, and people tend to fumble on this section. So please be elaborate on how you respond to this particular section. So the flow is give us the impact and then the overview of the project, why you did this particular project and how it's linked to your organization goals. And the other section, which is the innovation bit of it, which Alex spoke of, it doesn't really need to be a new or a flashy innovation. It carries 25 marks of the entire project. And this section, you just have to articulate how your innovation is. So at the end of the day, we really need you to communicate on what you were doing, because the judges want to look at the simplicity of the communication bit of it. It doesn't really have to have jargons, technical jargons, and that's where most people fail. They just apply it as an IT project, and we need to understand what you're trying to tell us. So the innovation bit of it is 25 marks. The strategy and alignment is usually 20 marks. The ROI, which Alex spoke of, is 15 marks. And the leadership bit, which is the last part of the section, is 10 marks. I hope I've answered your question, Kathy. Just looking at the chat to see if there is anything. So I've seen another question from Nicholas. How does the judging process account for the differences in organizational size, industry, market maturity to ensure a fair comparison between the applicants? So every project, there is a section, a particular section where we usually request for the budget range, and we cancel out the organizational size. So we value or we award marks based on your impact. So it doesn't matter if it's a big corporation or a small corporation. Everyone is scored based on their results on this criteria that we do set out. So if you feel like you're a big corporation or a small corporation competing with a big corporation, that doesn't matter when it comes to this process. So we ensure that we have fairness when it comes to awarding marks on these different things, these different sections. So during the application process, there is save and continue later. This makes it difficult since you have to start all over again several times. We will look into that and ensure that we have maybe the save button. And don't worry, that we can always share the application link so that you don't have to restart it all over again. Samuel has a question. Are the awards given per sector or it is all inclusive cutting across? So we have different categories when it comes to the CIO 100. The top 100 awards is usually 100 organizations and 100 IT leaders who are recognized. And then we have the leadership awards, which caters for the CIO of the year, CXO of the year, CISO of the year, and DX Nova Woman of the Year. And we introduced a new one, which is the Young CIO of the Year. This is for the upcoming CIOs, upcoming leaders who want to be CIOs. And we have the Plus One Awards, which is now the industry-specific awards. This section, we cater for all the industries. Now, I think that's where the sectors applies. And then we have the special awards, which is now for the specific projects. That is the cybersecurity kind of projects. We have the Green Edge project, and we also have the most innovative Company of the Year project under the special awards. I hope that answers your question, Samuel. Just looking to see if there is anything that I have, or another a question that I haven't responded to. I think that's it from the Q&A. If there is any other question. Oh, Gladwell. Are there separate award categories for system integrators, OEMs, or are we clubbed together? So Gladwell, we have a separate award for the technology providers, so to call you. So we have an award that is called the African Technology Award, which caters for now the technology providers. And under that award, we have now the different categories that we have published this year. I will drop the link to that specific award. It's called the African Technology, and we did it in 2024, and we have brought it back in 2026, and it will be celebrated at the CIO100 Symposium and Awards. So I will share with you the link to the award. There is one question to Alex. If you could give applicants one piece of advice before they submit, what will it be? Alex, are you still with us?
Really, once you've understood the process, if once you've gone through the application form, you realize that this is something that is doable. It's just that for most part, most of us leave it to last minute, and obviously at last minute you're scrambling and you're putting in information, minimum information, and that's how people lose out because they've not given it enough time. Really. So start early.
So much, Alex. Thank you so much, Melissa. And if there is any other question, please feel free to reach out to us. So the early bird ticket is live, and we are allowing and welcoming everyone to the CIO100 Symposium Awards. This is where you'll get to meet your peers, the CISOs, the CIOs, the CXOs, and every other IT leader that you'd want to meet. And this year, we're having the CIO100 Symposium in Diani. So ensure that you register, click on the link, the QR code available, the QR code available for the registration. So buy your tickets and let's meet in Diani. And yeah, that's it. Thank you so much for coming and hope to see you in Diani. And please, 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 please send in your applications.
This continent runs on technology. Every payment made, every patient treated, every student taught, every business decision, every government decision carried out runs through the hands of people like you.
The search results are in, and the answer is people. Not everyone sees a problem and decides it's theirs to solve, but some do, and that changes everything. "54 countries, thousands of technologies, millions of people connected, protected, and accounted for. This is what it takes."
Winning the CIO100 award does not end at the gala. It opens doors. It validates years of difficult decisions. It shows your organizations and the continent that what you built wasn't just functional, it was extraordinary.
It's amazing. I'm feeling great. I don't know.
We are super excited and so grateful, and thank you so much.
Yeah, so this is my what?
Wow, this is big. This is big. I thank God. I thank God for Jubilee Insurance for giving me such a great platform where we believe in technology and the power of technology. I mean, this is big.
These awards travel back to boardrooms across Africa. They change procurement decisions, they attract talent, and they build trust.
And then there is one award, the CIO of the Year award. 17 individuals, 17 people who have not just implemented technology, but have defined what technology leadership is. And so, who will the 18th CIO of the Year be?
You have a project, a system that you built that others thought that couldn't be done, a decision that you made and it made a real impact to the people. Don't keep it to yourself. Showcase it through applying for the CIO100 Awards 2026. And the process is simple. Tell us the strategic alignment, the impact, and innovative bit of the project. And you get a chance to be part of the winners.
Join us in Diani on the shores of the Indian Ocean, where Africa's greatest technology leaders will gather to crown the next 100. Who is next?